For the most realistic steering system available on the market, look no further than Sim Steering from Leo Bodnar. Designed and hand-built at the home of British Motorsport's Silverstone circuit, it's extensively used by professional driver training centres and race teams including Formula 1 since 2010. The high precision and completely linear response coupled with high strength provides the ultimate in realistic steering force feedback. Visit simsteering.com.
Take your hobby to the next level with a quality racing rig that works great with a PS3, Xbox 360, and a PC. The GT Omega Racing Simulator is compatible with a wide range of steering wheels including Logitech, Fanatec, Thrustmaster, and more. The GT Omega is available now worldwide by going to www.gtomegaracing.com.
Good evening everybody and welcome to ARL TV. Those that are tuned in on Twitch, as it would be that our site seems to be down at the current moment. I'm joined this week in the commentary box by Dean Prescott, and we are calling the action today live from sunny Suzuka in Japan. Round 10 of the Grand Prix Road to Pro Series. It's going to be a great race today, Dean.
Indeed it is. We've seen some good races so far this week, and coming off the back of the final DWC round, I'm expecting a few pro guys to turn up as well.
Yeah, mixed strategies potentially out there as well, so watch for the one-stop guys trying to make their way through the pack as quickly as possible to build the gap up that they're going to need. But before we just load into the server, let's just pass it over to our friends at Forza iRacing for this week's track guide.
Hello and welcome to Forza iRacing Track Guides. Today we are going to have a look at Suzuka, a track which is a favorite of many drivers. Originally designed as a Honda test track in 1962, the track gives the driver and the car pretty much every challenge there is in road racing. Fast corners, slow corners, chicanes, a hairpin, you name it. Sections like S-curve require absolute precision from the driver, and the famous spoon curve demands very good mechanical and aerodynamic balance. Downforce setting for this track is close to the maximum the car can provide. Because of the great variety of corners, many drivers rate this pretty much the best track in the world. Fast direction changes and low changes through the S-curves also require a fairly stiff suspension to allow the driver a maximum control of the car. Even with the long straight heading into Casio Triangle and the front straight, the car is pretty much cornering all the time. Our driver for this week is Rocco Barone, but before we let him do the lap, let's ask him a few questions. Rocco, what do you think is special about this track?
Well, Suzuka is an historical circuit and it's one of the favorites of a lot of drivers. There are many changing of direction, a lot of fast corners where you have to be absolutely perfect and where having a good balance with the car is very, very important.
And what's your favorite part of the track?
The best part of the circuit to me is the spoon section. Two left corners, really fast, you can gain or lose a lot of time there.
Now let's see how a 30.8 is done at Suzuka.
Hi guys, I'm Rocco Barone and this is my lap around Suzuka. Pushing up to turn 1 and turn 2, very important to have a good line, braking deep third gear, stay close to the cab on the inside, got a pretty good exit here, you can use the cab a little bit. Then we start a flowing combination of 5 corners. You have to be really kind and precise with the throttle and the steering input because the car is really unstable. Dollop cool flat out with 5th gear here. Then pushing up to turn 8 and turn 9. A double right-hander, very, very fast. Be careful to not touch the cab on the inside. Use as much track as you can, then a short acceleration before the slowest corner of the circuit. Very heavy braking here. First gear corner. Looking for a good exit. Very, very easy to overslip the rear tires. And then pushing up to the spoon section. Double left-hander, very very important to get it right. Crucial to find the perfect line. A lot of understeer, especially exciting in turn 14. Looking for a good exit. Not the best apex here, I would like to do it better. Among away, flat out throw the longest straight of the circuit. A little left corner, completely full throttle. Before the Cassia triangle. Braking 100 meters before the chicane. Jump over the cab on the inside. And use a bit of the second curb. Then last acceleration, really tricky. Easy to spin opening the throttle here. And then down to the finish line straight. And this is the end of my lap. I hope you like it and see you on track. Bye bye.
Welcome back to ARL TV. Thanks for the guys there. We've just about got into the server. The guys are gridding up at the moment. Let's take a look at the first few rows. Marty Pasella takes pole position from Michele Mancusi. Lee Thompson in third. Timo Ivan in fourth. Marcus Caton does take the fifth spot. We'll just zip straight through as the guys are slowly forming up. Apologies for rushing it in there. These 5 minutes just don't give a long time. Lights are coming on, revs are building. And we're racing here, round 10, Road to Pro Series. And it looks like Kazuki's got a great start, just watching different angles here.
Slight lock-up from somebody.
Yeah, turn one, always quite tricky. We expect to see a crash here or there, but for the most part it seems to have been pretty clean, so...
A bit of bunching coming into the final section of the S's. Yeah, looks like we're going to move up the inside of Marcus Caton.
Yeah, Marcus, that was Samuel de la Fuente, I believe.
Still a little bit further back, people jostling for position. So far so good. Got one going wide again, I think that's Samuel.
Yeah, Marcus can get a run back on him. All the time these guys are fighting, they're just slowly letting this little pack ahead of them pull away.
Still looks like Marcus has got that position. Coming under some pressure from Richard Avery now, it'd be difficult to pass down here.
Yes.
Rafa Borde as well.
So we're almost three wide, thought about it. Just going to have to take to the relief road there. We'll lose a place to LJ as well.
Is that Tanho as well?
And is that Matt as well there? Is that Frank? I'm not 100% sure.
Frank indeed, and Max has jumped into the pits.
Yeah, I'm wondering if he got some damage there. I guess he must have done. Yeah, I'm actually looking at the other screen right now and he has indeed got damage.
Frank Levitt coming under some pressure from Yunus Nukarenen. He's popped out of nowhere this week, it seems.
Yeah, Yunus,
himself up to 11th.
We did speak to Yunus a few weeks back and he said he was going to slowly start to get himself back into the car and get himself ready. And we've also, I think this is Frank coming under a little bit of pressure from Jorniens, it is. So a lot of pro drivers in this race this week. Obviously the official World Championship Series is done and dusted at this point, so these guys joining in on Class A fun. It'll be tricky for everybody to score the points that they need to qualify for the series.
Indeed, and it looks like we've just got one person who's been in some trouble, and it looks like it's Justin Lindsay. Not sure what's happened to him, but he's sat in the pits.
Yeah, Lee Thompson right on the back here of Marty Patella as they go into this final chicane. We know Lee is one of the drivers who's definitely been running the one-stop strategy this week. For the most part, seems to have worked out quite nicely for him. Gets him out of the trouble of the mid-pack. Although that said, he had a fantastic qualifier this week. Good 6/10 ahead of, I think, of any other Class A driver, so certainly showing that he can punch above his weight mixing it here.
Yeah, he's definitely clicked with this track this week. We know Marty Patel's no slouch when it comes to driving this car. especially around here. It's very mentally fatiguing. 38 laps, remember. Still, these first 5-6 guys starting to pull away from the guys just behind. So Richard Avery is leading the next pack. Samuel De La Fuente just behind. Rafa just behind, and LJ again. But it's interesting to see that there is an actual split, so it does kind of give you the idea of who's going for the no stopper or the one stopper. LJ looks like he's coming under some pressure from Eunice. 130, yeah, flat out corner. Get a little bit of aero push when you're just behind somebody. A slow section of the final chicane. LJ running it a little bit wide, cutting back. Definitely in the draft of Rafa.
Yeah, it looks like Samuel definitely is pulled far enough away, so yeah, now's LJ's chance to try and get a move done. Just seeing on the other camera, it looks like Lee Thompson just made a little mistake. Didn't lose any positions, but Marty Patel's got a bit of breathing room now.
Just hearing Marcus jump into the channel. Talk us through what happened there, Marcus.
I was looking at the replay there, and it looks like Kazuki went a bit deep into turn 1, made contact with the rear of Mancusi, and for some reason it gave me lag damage on the right side of my car, and I was ahead to the left, so that was a bit weird.
Well, you won the last one, so no hard feelings, I'm guessing.
I guess not.
Just go sideways through the exit of Spoon. It's like Jon Jens through. Sorry, Marcus.
Yeah, it looks like you ran a bit wide in Spoon section there. Nice recovery though.
But I do believe you've got through to the Drivers' World Championship for next season as well, so congratulations on that.
Yeah, thanks, 25th. So it is what it is. We'll see what becomes of it next season.
Are you looking forward to it, or are you expecting some new challenges?
I'm looking forward to it because this season was our first in the DWC for our team Alienators, and next season's our second. So it's just nothing but going forward from here. You know, we're a bit cautious, learning a lot. So you know, tomorrow, next season is just following through.
Also getting some new team members along the way. As Lee runs a little bit wide on Dagna 2. But you've got Jan Nazlowski. He's made his pro last season, so you'll be helping him a lot, I'm guessing.
Absolutely. I'm just going to be pushing him, rooting out any little mistakes, and then just seeing what we can do throughout the Pro Series, being consistent and fast, and be ready for the challenge of the DWC.
All the best for Jan and yourself and Alienators. I'm sure we'll see you again next week around Silverstone.
Oh, absolutely.
Back to the action, Lee. Looking like he's closing back up here on Marty Patel. Needs to get himself past this no stopper, which I'm pretty sure, looking at the lap times these guys are doing. So that said, they're pulling away quite nicely from the chasing pack. So as long as he's stays in pursuit, should be alright. But Kazuki's right there as well, and we know that he tried no stop a few races back as well. So he's gonna have to get this move done soon.
LJ coming under pressure still from Eunice. Like I said earlier, we don't know where Eunice has come from. Looks like he might be on the one stopper. He's currently stuck behind LJ. We think he's on a no stopper. He was on the one stopper earlier in the week.
Yeah, he might be on a one stop. His car looks a lot more lively than LJ's ahead. Yeah, he made a mistake there in Dagna 1.
Yeah, just looking at the line, what we've got at the moment, we've got Marty Patilla, Timu, Michele. So just 3 pros really at the top there. So there still should be some pretty decent points up for grabs in this one.
Don't cut out the A-class drivers just yet.
Yeah, let's not forget friction. They will seem to favour the no-stopper. 2 of them battling just behind where LJ is. There's Tattenhauer, it looks like Frank Levick. Guessing there's not quite any team orders just yet. That's pretty much it really. Got the guys still at the front battling. Lee looks a lot stronger through the S's at the start of the lap. Maybe drops off towards the end.
Yeah, and especially the run out of the uphill left-hander going into Digna 1, he got a lot closer to Terra right ahead.
And it just seems to be the run from the hairpin towards the back end of the circuit where he's struggling a little bit, but this is as close as he's been so far.
He just lost some time there, turning a bit too soon, it looks like. But I should be able to pull up a bit here in the spoon section. Hopefully get a good run down the back straight.
Very difficult corner is Spoon. Treating it pretty much as a double left-hander apex.
Yeah, you've got to be careful of that outside curb as well, as I fell victim to that on my first run back. Just can sometimes train track you wide, and you get caught on that, it spits you out. Car can spin off into the wall very, very easily.
Looks like he's got a good run from the final chicane. Not quite close enough maybe for a look at the inside, but he's definitely pulling up in that draft. Has a quick look.
Just to scare the guy ahead, and he runs a little bit wide as well, so it's a good effort.
Yeah, definitely around the first sector, that seems to be where all the time is gained for Lee.
Going to Digna 1, not a good place to pass, but he can scare Patella a bit. Went defensive there, but Lee ran about a bit as well.
He's gone wide again. Can get away with it just about if he bounce over the curb.
Yeah, Snick took the hairpin here a lot better, so he should be much closer coming out of the spoon section. Sure, see a fantastic run down the back straight here.
Definitely a tricky place to pass down into 130R.
You have the draft, you can get it done, stick it up the inside. Looks like he's might not be close enough, but last time by he was fantastic through the 130R itself, so.
Have a look. There's a look again on the inside of the chicane.
Patella didn't react though, so you lost a little bit of time on him.
Have to be careful as well. Got Timu looking up his gearbox. Just waiting for these two to maybe make a little mistake and bounce upon.
Yeah, Timu shouldn't be in any rush here. It's just a matter of taking it easy, see what Thompson does. And if he can't, then he'll have to look to try and take the position.
Still looking further back, we've got LJ and Eunice still going hard at it. Eunice still not passed. Eunice trying everything he can to look round different angles.
Set himself up for a good one going into Digna 1, although that's a bit wasted.
Can be done. Ooh, there's a little look at the inside of Digna 2.
Yeah, so that's the problem there. He's making too many mistakes. He's losing in time and regaining it elsewhere. That's not the first time he's run wide at Digna 1, so something for him to improve.
Just looking at the lap times as well, it looks like Samuel's changed his strategy up, so he's...
Oh, quick update. Lee is going up the inside of Timmy. Patella, sorry. And he's got the position going through 130R.
Yeah, I just missed that on screen, but we'll get a replay of that back. Looked
Yeah,
like
Patel's
Eunice
not
was
close
trying to
enough
go
to-
around the outside of LJ, but up the inside here into Casio Triangle. Doesn't manage to get it done, but
And-
he's going to get a good run. No, he gets a little bit squirmish under acceleration.
Spins up those rear tires.
The front lead starting to pull a little bit of a gap on Marty Patella now. He's coming under some pressure from Timu. He's just on his way out of this. He needs to start getting the hammer down, does Lee?
Yeah, just watching the replay back now of the action, so where he did it. Just got a great run through the spoon curve, caught loads of time up on Marty, great exit as well. Yeah, Marty didn't really defend the inside, he could have done. Would have made it harder for Lee, but he thought perhaps he'd done enough.
A lot of commitment from both guys going through 130 out, flat out, side by side. Team is starting to pile the pressure again, as Lee was on Marty.
I'm looking at the replay here, and it looks like Jonas got past LJ going into Degner 1, so...
Yeah, we missed that while we were reviewing the replay. I think the stream did catch it though.
Just got past Mancusi as well with me. Yes, he has damage to front wing
Mancusi,
in the
what-
pits.
Yeah, what happened to Michele? Let's see if I can find that back as well.
Looking at the replay there, he's spun it coming out of the spoon section. Nose damage at the barrier. That's unfortunate, it was in a good position.
Lee's made a mistake actually here. So all that hard work to get himself past Marty. Oh, now he's spun!
Oh!
Contact!
I have to look at that replay. Lee has front wing damage. He'll have to stop right away.
I think that's perhaps just a bit of frustration that's crept in for Lee there. He made the mistake after getting himself past.
Yeah, but he couldn't have reacted to that. Looks like Patella didn't use much of the track on entry, so he was a bit slower in the middle of the corner, and Lee took his line and was in transition to get back on the gas. He wasn't even on the gas yet, and he made contact with Patella before the exit.
And he's just falling back. Looks like he's coming just behind Richard Avery.
Just
So
Leon
Tomoe
Marty
leaves across
filing.
the line.
yeah, and just catching what happened with Michele as well there on screen, coming out of the spoon corner. As you said, Marcus, just gets a little bit too ambitious on the loud pedal, and around she comes.
Yeah, Patella's in the pits with Lee. He may be out of the race. We don't know what he can fix. But Lee can just replace his front wing, of course.
You'd expect Lee to put the remaining of the fuel in now. Just hot lap his way as far as he can.
And he's out side by side with him out of the pits. Patella got ahead, but it looks like he has some slight rear wing damage, so he might not be on the pace.
So it seems it continues, albeit it was for first, it's now for 12th. Marty's definitely a lot slower through the S's.
I would have been sure Kazuki would have had some front wing damage after the contact in turn 1, but his car looks pristine. And he's in second position, only 3.5 seconds behind
Looks
Tamui.
like Lee's lost it coming under the bridge. Looks like he's stuck in the wall as well.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, he's trying everything to get out, but he's just not pulling.
Yeah, we just had a little replay of what happened there as well on that lap.
This is definitely playing into the hands of Timu, Kazuki and Richard. Maybe Samuel as well, who we might think is on a no-stop. Lap 13 and 132. Eunice lap 13 and 131.9, so it looks like Eunice is possibly going for that one-stopper.
So Marty's into the pits as well.
This should be his race over. It's a bit unfortunate. A good fight for position. It just came together in a way that wasn't completely avoidable. Just two different lines into the section and Lee carrying more speed to the middle of the corner. Couldn't have reacted to Mattelli's lack of space at that point and made some slack contact for the exit.
So it seems like everyone started to spread out. Maybe a little battle forming between Jon Jens and the two friction guys.
Yeah, and Eunice is slowly working his way up to Rafa as well here. And I'm glad to say ARL TV is back up and running. The website, that is.
It's always good. Never fun to have server updates before you go live.
Yeah, Eunice getting ever closer to the rear end of Rafa's. Got a few connection issues there as well by the looks of it.
Yeah, he runs a very wide line. Another run going into deck number one. Dangerous place to pass. The Rafa's going to give it up, so got the position. He runs wide afterwards. So he's really throwing that car around.
Yeah, a combination of the car
Network
blinking
issue.
like a mad one. So Eunice used to drive for Tim 4 Engineering, but I think he's about ready to move, is he? I think I heard somewhere he was looking for a different team. I'm not really sure what's going on with 10-4 at the moment. A lot of drivers have moved out of there, so...
Could be one for Marcus to look at.
Well, we did say we didn't want to hear from him in the middle of the race this week, but yet again, Lee Thompson joins us in the middle of the broadcasted race. Tell us what happened there, mate.
Well, I was going to ask you, what did it look like from the broadcast's view?
It did look like there was contact from our view. Yeah.
It's a shame.
It was slight, but where it was enough that it turned Marty, I think.
Yeah, I'm sorry to Marty, as I've already said. There's 3 foot between us and my screen, unfortunately, looking at the replay, so one of those things. From my point of view, obviously I put myself there already. I finally got past him, getting past him in 130R and then run wide on the next lap, so I might I should have been off and away. Different strategy.
Yeah, it's a shame. I mean, it's sort of the second race in a row actually that there's been sort of contact between no stoppers and one stoppers, myself and McKaylee in the last one. I think I also made contact with Timu as well, so it definitely causes some issues when we have these different strategies out there, but for some part we enjoy mixing it up, but it does cause these racing incidents.
Yeah, from my point of view, I definitely enjoyed it because it means I get to drive for a bit against these WCS drivers, which is lots of fun, So, sorry to Martin, I'm sorry to Timu in the last one. It feels like to them probably this this idiot A-class driver who's made contact, but it's just one of those things slightly, I think.
Yeah, I don't see it that way, Lee. He entered the corner a little bit shallower than you did. Well, so his speed in the middle of the corner would have been much less. You entered normally from the right, so you carried just a little bit more speed through the middle of the corner, and it was just super close. It's a tiny little tap, and while he was getting on the power, and it just looped him around. So it wasn't extremely avoidable, but it was just too close. So it's an unfortunate thing to happen, but no blame to really go around.
So yeah, I shall. I've got good points already this week, so I'm happy. But yeah, I'm sorry to the guys, and I shall see everybody at Silverstone next week.
Yeah, see you then, mate. Good luck for that one. And yeah, like you said, you got good points. So basically, job done as what you needed for the week, really.
Yeah, cheers.
All the while, Eunice has made his next victim. It's Samuel de la Fuente, who was in 4th.
Yeah, while we were talking, we saw that Samuel pretty much let Eunice go at the hairpin there. I guess he knows that it's on a different strategy, so no need to fight. Really, the battle is on between the 3 cars, so Samuel, Rafa, which I guess Rafa must have made a mistake or something. No, he was behind, wasn't he, already? And LJ, who's just lingering behind them, but definitely got a chance to get up on those guys.
Yeah, definitely a faster pace than we've seen before.
Whoa! Can't replay Yatsumoi made a mistake. I think he went off into the wall entering the S's there.
Yeah, just seen him dropping down. Let's have a quick replay of that back.
Yeah, not only is he out of the lead, but he has damage now. It could be the end of his race.
Yeah, see some left side pod damage. Front wing damage.
Oh yeah, just lost it coming around that corner. Hit it hard.
So ironically, this puts the Japanese driver Kazuki Homishima in the lead of the race. So don't know what the strategy of Richard is, which is who's closing in on him a bit, but Kazuki is looking good for a win here, at least.
Yes, he's definitely playing into the hands of the A-class drivers.
Yeah, Eunice, we know who's on a one-stopper, so he's going to find it hard to beat these guys. Lap 17. Well, we assume he's on a one-stop, sorry.
Yeah, the push of these guys at the front now, they look like they're on a one-stop also.
Yeah, so it kind of cancels itself out a bit because anyone else is too far back to jump them, really, if they're on a no-stopper.
Well, you say that, you think Samuel, Rafa and LJ are only 17 seconds back.
Yeah, it's some 30 seconds that you need. I mean, we're lap 18. I expect to see one-stoppers in around about 25, anywhere from that, sort of 24 to 26, I would think.
Absolutely. I'm watching on board with Avery here, and he seems to have a 10-2 on Kazuki. Kazuki looks a bit ragged in a few places, but he still has a pace. So, yeah, this fight for the lead now is going to heat up a bit in a few laps.
Yeah, 3/10 last time by. So, remember seeing Kazuki try to run a no-stop early on in the week. So, well, yesterday I believe it was. So I'm pretty sure he's on a no-stop. And Richard here will be on a one-stop. So again, the two strategies come together.
Absolutely, and it'd be interesting to see a Japanese driver take the Suzuka win here in the SOF race. Avery is close, so hopefully both drivers are a bit smart about it. Either Kazuki lets him go, or if he puts off a pass in a good position. We've seen too many leaders get out of the race so far.
Yeah, I don't think Kazuki would want to give this up just yet. Still matching the pace of Richard if he has on a no-stopper. Eunice closing in again. Samuel just shy of a 31 that last lap round. Same goes for the other two following. So the pace is quite quick if it is on a no-stopper for Kazuki. Also, let's not count out the friction guys just yet. They're sitting,
pretty sure Frank and Christian will be on a no-stop.
And Christian's only 23 seconds down the road, so he's still got the opportunity to jump. Richard's definitely getting closer and closer.
Yeah, I just checked up on Tamui. He's down in 11th place on the back of Carlos. He's going to take that position a bit. But he's 50 seconds back from the leader, so when they pit, he's probably going to be like 15 or so seconds behind still if they do pit. So he has the ability to at least jump a few people who pit, but it's going to be a close one.
Let's just have a quick look at the top speed of Kazuki. Down his back straight. He's topping out at 3:02 already. He's definitely got some pace in the car. Still keeping Richard behind, who's in his draft. And the guy who's on the move is Eunice, in the 30s now. That clean air, he's just letting him pile the pressure on. Two guys up front will be seeing him getting closer and closer and thinking, what are we going to do?
Yeah, it's a bit of a back and forth between the leaders. They gain and lose time on each other. And yeah, Eunice is closing the gap a little bit. So if all three of these guys are on a one-stopper, then it'll be interesting to see how it turns out towards the end. Because Jonas seems to have the pace on him at the moment. Avery is very close to Kazuki now, going into the last chicane here. Well, he loses some time on the exit, so.
Yeah, it's always difficult to find your turning point once you're so close behind somebody. Through the final chicane. Ooh, a little bit of a twitch there from Richard. Gets away with it.
Yeah, watching his on board, he's very active with his wheel, so I'm not sure what equipment he's running, but he must be going crazy in that wheel throughout the lap.
It's getting ever closer and closer for this final sector through the hairpin. Has a little bit of a moment. These two definitely starting to pull away. Maybe apart from Eunice.
Kazuki a little wiggle on the exit there. Richard isn't close enough to do anything about it, but he'll close the gap down the back straight here easily.
Also, both drivers just a little bit deep into final chicane there. Definitely a chance for Richard, but made exactly the same mistake.
Richard's topping out 3:07. Ooh, a little bit too wide on the entrance. Gets away with it. Oh, got a good run though. Let's see what he can do through the S's. Looks like he's dropped off a bit already. He's only got the run off turn 2. He seems to have lost a little bit of too much time through the S's.
Yeah, he made a little mistake and then it was a bit tentative for the last few corners, but he made some of that back going to the upper left-hander. Whoa! Nice save there. Lit up those red tires. So.
Yeah, we missed that just there as we were on board with Kazuki. Just checking in on the battle a bit further back. We're LJ starting to close the gap on Rafa, and I think Rafa's slowly drawing up to the back of Samuel as well. So I think these three come the end of the race, so gonna have a right old ding-dong battle.
Absolutely, LJ is gonna get a good run down here on Rafa. I'm very curious how the strategy plays out because there's so much going on, the possibility for so much as well.
Coming around for lap 23, these guys. Eunice is still out on track at the minute. Dropped a little bit of time that lap round. 1:31 from Eunice.
I thought it was 8 seconds back, so 7 seconds to may have been an improvement.
Yeah, just looking at this little battle, LJ was some 0.4 of a second quicker that time by, and just checking back in with the leaders. Richard obviously had that little mistake, lost himself 0.4. Yeah, I mean, looking at the front pack, just take Eunice out of it for a minute. All these guys Class A and all fighting for the championship as well. Kazuki right in there, we know he's got some big drop weeks, so a good result here will jump him right up into the mix and maybe have a shout at winning this championship. Richard Avery seems out of it for the most part, but some good points the last 3 rounds. He might have half a chance of fighting for a top 10 position. Obviously, we know Samuel de la Fuente's had a great run of races since rejoining the series from year 3. So Richard gets very, very close to Kazuki there.
He needed an absolutely good run coming out of the corner there, and he did get it, so he's going to have a fantastic run going out to turn 1 here. Doesn't look like Kazuki's going to defend, so he's going to go up the inside and take the position going to 1.
Yeah, to me that just
very nicely done.
Just definitely confirms what we were saying, that Kazuki was on a no-stop strategy, so no need to defend that.
Although the
he's
pace
done his job.
Yeah, so Kazuki's going to take it easy here, and if Avery pulls out a gap, we'll definitely know he's going to stop compared to Kazuki. But again, that kind of confirms that Kazuki's in a very good position to win this race. So I'm sure he's going to thoroughly enjoy that.
Yeah, just to check it, catching back in as well. Obviously, Samuel we know, Rafa Bordoy, he joined week 3 as well. Obviously, the new time model version 5 hit the car, and we saw a lot of new faces. LJ took the first couple of weeks off, so he's got a couple of drop rounds as well. So these guys all coming up through the table, and now that we reach round 10, we're starting to see them really appear in the mix. Frank Levick also another driver, so is Christian Tapio. So top 8, just excluding Eunice, is this is a very, very important race for them. Won't want to be making too many mistakes, but very important for this overall championship and the final 10 pro licenses that are available this season.
Yeah, Kazuki can use Richard here. Choose his draft, maybe save a little bit extra fuel in case he needs it. You can see there, Eunice is starting to appear into shot.
Yep, just under 6 seconds behind him now after that pass, so we'll see what happens. If Avery pits before Jonas, then Jonas has the ability to possibly jump him or get very close after the pit stops.
Yeah, Eunice took 0.7 of a second out of him on that last lap, so he's coming at him at a rate of knots, but I'm not sure how many laps he's got left, as we're pretty convinced he's going to have to pit.
Yeah, lap 25. Yeah, expecting him in pretty much any time soon, really.
And just following this battle a bit further back, 4th, 5th and 6th. As I was saying, Rafa slowly catching up with Samuel. 0.3 of a second that time by, and LJ's never looked closer.
Yes, has a good run going up here into the spoon section. See if he can gain some time there. But tentative line in spoon section itself, so he wasn't able to get a full advantage on the exit. But he has a draft here, so he's going to get a little bit closer, but not close enough to attempt to pass this lap.
Yeah, 13 laps still to go. I mean, will there be a bit of a waiting game going on for LJ here? Right now, they're both catching up to Samuel, or should he make a move now before they get into the position where Rafa's got draft as well?
Yeah, usually if the guy ahead is consistent and he's on the pace, you would want to wait. But if they're making any little mistakes, any mistake they make is compounded on you in the dirty air. So you're better off either hounding them, taking the position, and then pushing ahead to try and get the guy ahead sooner than later. Don't want to run out of laps waiting for someone to do something they don't or can't do. Taking a quick look at Suzuki in second place, I'm surprised Richard hasn't pulled away from him more than he has. Just a few tenths from having the clear air, but Suzuki is keeping pace. So it's either one of two things. Avery could have been on a no stop as well, or Avery on a one stop fuel load. It's pretty much close on Suzuki's pace with fuel for the rest of the race.
Richard stays there another lap. Suzuki a little bit squirrely coming through in the final corner. And again, Eunice lurks in the background, getting ever closer and closer. Lap 27, he's definitely going a little bit deeper than we thought from Eunice. And still these three guys battling. Both Rafa and LJ getting closer to Samuel. Rafa in the middle of these guys is the quicker of the three. So we'll just be pulling LJ along with him for the time being. Samuel doesn't look like he's going to give up any mistakes just yet. LJ runs a little bit wide coming out the second deck now.
You've got to be careful there because there's quite a ridge to the outside of that curve, and the car can sort of get stuck on that curve as well. We don't actually have a plank at the bottom of the car, but that area where it would normally sit, the car just seems to, well, as I said earlier, sort of train track down. There's a couple of places on this track that can cause that. Saw what happened to Leo. I know that's not exactly what happened, but that's usually the result. You get caught off there, you try and give it full aggression off of that corner, and usually you get some instant spin into the wall.
Rafa was a little deep into the final chicane.
Yeah,
Didn't affect his time too much though.
Eunice has pitted, so Eunice in and down in 6th place, 7th at the moment, so he's dropping way back.
Yeah, here comes Tattenhall. He's through as well.
Get out in front of Jan, and he does. Going into turn 1 now. Jens is going to be like 2 or 3 seconds behind him.
Yeah, looks like Richard has picked his pace up. 130.1 that last lap round. Now it does look like he might be on this one stop. But Kazuki also 130.6.
Yeah, still just locked into this three-way battle here for 4th, 5th and 6th, and I've got a feeling that's going to turn into...
Richard's in.
Yeah, that's going to turn into, what is that, 2nd, 3rd and 4th now?
So Richard went 1 lap longer than yours, and we'll say about a 5-second gap or so.
Yeah, he should still have plenty of space.
Yep.
But here comes Samuel, Rafa and LJ. Richard's now on his way out. So look, front Levick.
Yeah, let's say Frank, and that must be coming.
Yep, Frank's gonna get him.
Tight.
Oh, it's going to be close, but he has just nicked him.
So about 1 second difference there. So if Frank doesn't pit anytime soon, this might lose Avery some time.
Well, I'm
And,
pretty
if-
sure that Frank is on a no stopper, so they did that earlier on or yesterday again, so it's a straight on fight for these guys now, equal fuel loads.
Absolutely. If Kazuki isn't on a no stop, he really has to push for the next 2 laps before he pits.
Yeah, I'm looking at Kazuki's times. I mean, he is flying out there, 30.6 last time by, fastest lap for him.
He's definitely got the pace if he's on a no-stopper.
Only 10 laps to go now. I mean, we've seen some of the pro guys, they were doing sort of low 29s at the end of their run, so Kazuki, if he is indeed on a no-stop, he's heading towards that kind of pace at the end of the stint.
Yep, but to run good 29s in the last 10 laps of the stint, you really have to push. So if he's on a no-stopper, then he would have had confirmation from every pitting that he's in the clear, so he wouldn't need to push. He just needs to keep the pace up, and he's got the win.
And that means second, third and fourth are ever closer.
I will be surprised thoroughly if the Avery crew, or I should say Rafa, LJ, and Samuel, are not on a one-stop strategy. Because Frank is another 10 seconds or so behind them, and Richard is still behind them.
And these guys knocking on the door for the 30s. And lap 30. Looks like Samuel's just losing more and more time being at the front of them.
Yeah, it seemed like he had the pace earlier on while the car was a bit heavier, so perhaps seen a bit of a difference in way they've set the car up. LJ looking like he's going to have a run. He's going to get up the inside, thought about it. Very tricky there, especially when the car in front's got slipstream. And thought better of it through Casio there. In fact, let's just take a lap on board with LJ. Down this main street, probably hitting a good 307, 308 kilometers an hour, down through the gearbox, down third gear for turn 1, hard into this left-hander, switch back to right, down another gear, keep it tight to left, every corner you're just sort of compensating the exit for the next corner just to make it as fluid as possible, through Dunlop curve. Car set up beautifully, it's flat out through there. Degner 1, down 2 gears and shove it in. Degner 2, very, very tricky. Bumpy on the inside and bumpy on the outside. Fine line through there. Into the hairpin, late braking. Very easy for the car to over-rotate into there. Great line from LJ, managed to catch right up on Rafa there. Get on the power as hard as you can through this long right hand section. I can't remember what it's like, 250 or something like that. Hard, do they call it? Something crazy. Through Spoon Corner. Very, very tricky. Off camber there, really sends the car out wide. You think it's understeering all the time. Get on the power hard down this back straight. Up to the famous 130R. Flat out, no question. Indeed, LJ was now into tricky braking for Casio Triangle. You want to just clip the inside curbs on both corners and get the car straightened up as soon as possible for a lap of the Suzuka circuit.
Starting to lose a little bit of time to Rafa. Rafa's now in the 30s. Kazuki's coming up on some traffic. Just coming into the open. Lets him go at the inside. Samuel's going to be feeling this pressure, I'm sure. Soaked it up pretty much since the go. Rafa had a little bit of a squirrely moment out of Dagna 2.
Yeah, just having a look to see what else we've got back. I mean, Frank Levick's now dropped back a couple of seconds from Sorry, Richard's dropped back from Frank a couple of seconds. Eunice is 6 seconds behind Christian Tattenho, 2 seconds gap from Yorn Yen, so it's pretty spread out now. It's just really this main battle going off, and just Kazuki up front just absolutely having a blinder.
Absolutely. So Avery, wasn't able to, keep the pace up or get ahead of Kazuki soon enough to help his strategy. Otherwise, would have been on the back of this fight for second place here. But these guys is, lap 32, about to start lap 33. They, I guess that 19 seconds they lost from fighting each other from the get-go, and the difference between the other guys who are missing now. But it's still going to be very close, so not to be too detrimental towards Samuel, but he is probably holding them up a little bit, and these guys can do as much as they would like in the dirty air.
Yeah, that said, he has got a tiny little bit of a gap. It's probably the biggest we've seen it for some laps, but we know LJ was just a little bit closer the lap before, so maybe that's just giving him the little bit of breathing room he needs. 6 laps to go. I think this could still be any one of these guys. That said, I know there's
a minute though.
Yeah, sorry, Dean. I was about to say that said, a lot of the there's a lot of points up for grabs for second, third, and fourth. So perhaps these guys will have that in the back of their mind as well.
Absolutely. Settle for a top 5 finish and some decent points, or try and get one more.
Yeah, looks like Samuel's switched something on in that car. He's definitely into overdrive at the minute. Bridging that gap back to Rafa.
It looks like Tanado is coming up close to Avery here. Yeah, so Avery doesn't seem to have the pace in the second stint. Frank was just ahead of him by like a second, and now it's a few second gap. So Richard will be on the threat from Christian in a few laps.
Yeah, I think Christian could do with the 6th place here and the points that will come with it. One of the drivers that is desperately fighting for a top 10 position. Not sure what he's had so far this week.
I think LJ is very close to Rafa, but going into the hairpin, so he can't really do much about it.
And still it looks like Samuel's pulling away again from these two. So maybe the pressure's starting to pile up on Rafa from LJ.
Yeah, it's a very strange thing, isn't it? Once someone gets that little bit too close to your rear gearbox, you spend far too much time looking in those mirrors than you do the car ahead of you. When actually, if you were full on attack, you probably, the guy behind's got no chance.
Absolutely. A good strategy would be to ignore them in a way and keep pushing and concentrating forward, but you never want to be surprised with, a car sticking it up the inside someplace, so it's a double-edged sword on that one.
Yeah, LJ 2 times quicker.
So you always get some crazy fool like me who'd shove it up the inside. Sorry, Michele, my last race.
Watching too many Senna videos.
That's what it was. Sure, I watched that this morning. It was Prost's fault.
Oh, LJ, a little mistake.
Good recovery though, he wouldn't have lost so much time, about half a second or so.
He's just taking the pressure off Rafa though.
Yeah, he just needs to calm down, settle himself, and just keep pushing. Forget about that mistake and move on. It's easy to have a mistake get in your head, and to the point that you might take it a bit easier next time by in that corner. But only a few laps to go now, so I don't think LJ is going to leave anything on the table.
Yeah, to me it doesn't look like Rafa's got enough to get up onto the back of Samuel. Samuel just seems to be maintaining that gap, keeping them out of striking distance.
Just a quick update on Christian Tanato, which was chasing Richard Avery. Looks like he ran wide in Degna too, and lost a bunch of time on Avery, so he won't be able to do much about it in these last few laps.
Yeah, and Richard's still too far back from Frank ahead of him to do too much there, so well, we see him on the same shot now, but I still think there's nothing going to happen in those remaining 3 laps.
One thing that could get interesting is Jon Jens on the back of Eunice.
So a quick check in on that. Yeah, my 3ID car coming up strong. Not sure what happened to Jens at the start of this race. Find himself way back there. Jens, we know, is a very strong driver from Season 1. I think he finished in the top 5 in the championship, can't remember exactly, but he's sure going to be one to look out for in the Pro Series.
Yeah, it's a bit of a weird one. I mean, he's certainly had the pace earlier on, so don't know if the car just sort of balance doesn't agree with his driving style, but surely they'll be prepared for the Pro Series.
Oh, was he makes a mistake? Did he hold it? He did, just. It looks like he's got some front wing damage there, so I think that battle's just come to a close as well. Just check back in with this battle for 2nd, 3rd and 4th. 20 seconds behind Kazuki up front now. Sorry Kazuki, you're not going to get much airtime, mate, you're so far ahead.
Yep, with 2 laps to go, so Rafa is the one who's closest to Samuel, so we'll see if we can push and get something back here on him. But LJ's a bit further off, and in 2 laps, there's not much you can do.
Yeah, I think LJ might have realised. Just hold your position, maybe save a little bit of fuel just in case.
Yeah, he's in 4th, he's got great points. He hasn't managed to score many big points so far this week. Perhaps that little off that he had in Degna, just he thought, yeah, let's just take it a little bit easy. Let's bring these points home.
Yep, mistakes can be a reminder of your mortality. But he should be happy with the 4th place position no matter what.
So we watch Samuel go through the spoon corner. Very confident now he will be. He's got over a 2nd gap, I think, behind him.
Yes, Kazuki starts the final lap here.
Jump on board with the leader for a second.
So Kazuki has positioned himself well to pick up the spoils of the previous leaders. He was only like 2-3 seconds behind the fight with Lee and Patella. So he was in position for a solid podium finish, to say the least.
Yeah, let's not forget Timu, who's still out there in 10th place at the moment. He obviously took up the reins but lost it through the S section.
So we go now for the final lap. LJ looks like he's closer than he's been pretty much the whole race.
It's very close to Rafa, so you'll have to make sure he's very close going into the spoon section and out. Picked up a 10th or 2 there just through the Degna section.
Yeah, he's got 11-second gap behind him to Frank, so you know he potentially could try something. Not worry too much what's going on behind.
He's under a 2nd back, so he's more than close enough to do a Simpson in the last chicane. Very close here, coming out of the spoon section now. Much better run, so he should have a very good run coming down here. So it's just a matter of how far he's willing to go. Rafa should see him coming, and he should defend up the inside, of course, but you know, it's a lot that can happen here. Let's see if he's willing to go far for it.
There's one on the outside.
Unfortunate. But he still has 4th position there. Looks like Rafa, you know, defending to the inside and then staying a bit to the middle of the track, not leaving a car length or any much room on the left side for LJ. So yeah, got his left side tires on the grass. If this was Formula One, he probably would have gotten a warning about that or a penalty point, but it is what it is.
Well, there we go. 38 laps done. Kazuki pretty much dominated that when we saw the loss of the leaders, and then Timu pretty much handed it to him. But Kazuki kept his cool and he had Richard Avery behind him, and when he let him past.
So yes, a very good win for Kazuki. Again, Simpson, not much airtime for him, of course, but he did what he needed to do and he got the win. So congratulations to him, the Japanese sim racer, winning at Suzuka, of course, a fantastic track in Japan.
Yeah, no better place for him to win. I think he's probably thrilled with that.
Absolutely. He didn't make the mistakes. He kept his pace up, and he got the win for it. Whereas two of the leaders, made a mistake, a fortunate crash as well, and myself with some lag contact in turn one. So still a good race overall. Samuel should be thrilled with that second, Rafa third. LJ missing out on a podium, but still in a solid fourth place position.
I'm just looking at the points for that one, and Kazuki picked himself up 282 points. So one of the highest we've seen all season. Samuel in second, 264. Rafa Bordoy, 246. LJ, 229. Frank Levick, 211. Richard Avery, 193. So the top six all getting fantastic points there. Christian, even in seventh, got 176. So just goes to show the level of the strength of field of this race was right up there amongst the highest we've seen all season. So I imagine all of those guys will be absolutely dead chuffed with the final result there. With a few perhaps kicking themselves with mistakes that were made.
You can say that, and definitely goes to show the amount of iRating I'm going to lose after this one.
74, you lost, my friend. That could be worse.
Not too bad. It could have been worse. Yeah, it's over 100 or something. But still, it's a fantastic race. I would have liked to have been a part of it, but lag contact clearly because there's still some room on the inside. So it's just unfortunate part of sim racing that everyone kind of has to accept a bit. We don't all have Google Fiber yet, of course.
Yeah, indeed. Well, we're just going to go for a quick break, and we'll be back and see if we can get some guys up for an interview.
For the most realistic steering system available on the market, look no further than Sim Steering from Leo Bodnar. Designed and hand-built at the home of British Motorsport's Silverstone circuit, it's extensively used by professional driver training centres and race teams including Formula 1 since 2010. The high precision and completely linear response coupled with high strength provides the ultimate in realistic steering force feedback. Visit simsteering.com.
And welcome back to ARL TV. Just having a quick look at the replay of the start. Marcus, you got yourself a pretty decent getaway there.
Decent one, yes. Put myself in a good position on the outside there as well. But what happened happened.
Yeah, for the most part, it seemed pretty clean. Like you say, you just got that little clip, which is unfortunate. But anyway, right, we've got LJ just popped in for a quick interview, so let's just have a look at his start back and have a quick chat and see what he thought of that race. LJ, how you doing, mate?
Not so bad.
So, fourth place, 229 points. How's that grab you?
Well, it's always good after I have now 2 bad point scoring weeks and then I missed the week before that, so yeah, that was a tough race. I just switched to a no stopper earlier today, so yeah, start wasn't terrible. Just trying to stay out of trouble after Spa and all that, so and then basically settled in behind, I think it was Rafa and Samuel, and then Jonas catching up at quite a rate behind me. So I figured he was on a one-stopper, so I let him past after I started falling behind Rafa and Samuel a bit to see if he could slow them down. But apparently Rafa had the same idea. So.
We saw you slowly start to catch back up with Rafa and Samuel as well. Obviously, a lot of accidents going off ahead. What was your mindset towards the end of the race? Obviously I knew that you went for a move on the last corner, but were you you had a couple of chances earlier on, but didn't really take them. What was your thoughts behind that? Did you just want to settle in, or did you want to try and push on?
I think it was basically, I realised I was in 4th, and with some of the names that were in, I'm guessing it was, a good strength field. It was 4,500, I think. So I realised that 4th was probably, over 200 points, which is what I needed. So I just sat there, and basically, if I saw chances, I went for them. But I think I got upside of him once going into 130R, but pulled out of that. So. And then pretty much the last corner, it was all or nothing, really. I think I said that to him, and thought I felt like he came across a bit, but I looked at the replay and it was just me being a bit overcautious again. So, but yeah, I mean, it was worth trying it. So,
Not to disagree with you, buddy, but he didn't leave much of a car length, so it was very close to the grass on the left. He could have stayed much more to the inside on the right, defending his position, of course, but. You still got 4th, but it was very close, so it could have went either way.
Yeah, it wasn't so bad. Still my highest points scoring week ever, I think, so pretty happy with that still.
Yep, congratulations on that.
Yeah, we're up to, we're off to Silverstone, so next week, your home Grand Prix. Are you looking forward to that one?
Not a fan of that layout of Silverstone, so not looking forward to it, but I'll try and salvage the points. I'm guessing I'll just try and make it through turn 1 again and see where everything goes. So
you're like me, we're waiting for this for the new scan to materialise.
Yeah, I think they've said they scanned it. It's just
yeah, it's done, wasn't it? It was done about a year ago. So
yeah, getting it all sorted. So hurry up, iRacing.
Well done again today, LJ. Go and enjoy yourself. A little bit of a celebration now, 229 points.
Yep, thank you.
Right, and we're joined in the commentary box now by...
Everywhere, Frank, one sec.
Yeah, hold on, I just get moved out. Right, we're joined in the commentary box by Frank Levick. Good afternoon, Frank. How you doing, mate?
Good, how are you doing, Alex?
Yeah, all good. Let me just bring you up on screen here and turn you up as you're a bit quiet. So tell us a little bit about your race today. Just watching you start here, pretty clean start. No issues, opted to go for the no stop strategy. So I think everybody's slowly switching over to that now. But yeah, just tell us a little bit about your race.
I played it mostly safe at the start. A lot of practice time. Got home about half hour before the race actually started, so I was kind of not warmed up at all for the start. So probably could have pushed more throughout the race. I noticed that the other zero stoppers were about 10 seconds ahead of me by the time they looked the race. Probably played it too safe, but made it past a few people to stop. Avery pulled them off the last portion of the race.
I'm just looking at the points that you scored, and we commented on it just a minute ago. 211 points. I guess that's just what your championship needed, even if it was 5th, but still a damn fine result there. And I'm guessing that's going to count as one of your 8 rounds.
Yeah, I have 2 180 point weeks. Place is one of them, so I probably move up a little over 30 points.
In fact, Frank, you've actually taken the lead for the stand-ins.
Yeah, is that probably hasn't updated properly yet. You know, it can get a bit funny at times.
I'm about to say it doesn't sound right.
I think it has, because it's put me down into 21st. 1752 total for you, Frank.
That's with 9.
Yeah, it's counting 9 weeks at the minute though.
I should end up around maybe points in third. With
So, I mean, what's the plan for the rest of the season? Looking at the championship points, and actually, while I'm at it, let me just see if I can bring them up on screen so people can see them. I have to excuse the desktop; it's a bit busy, but yeah. So obviously, you're gonna, because you're counting 9 at the moment, it's gonna drop down just a little bit. But you're obviously in the top 10 position. What else do you need? Do you think to secure that pro license?
I think I need at least one more week like this to stay in the top 10. Depends if the other guys in the running can points or not as well. So probably when all things are said and done, I may be around 7th or 8th place. I would think would be good.
So who are you looking out for at the moment? Who you keep an eye on behind you that you think might creep up and got the chance to push you down?
Most likely Kazuki. LJ, he kind of pulled off a surprise. I think he may still have a week now.
Yeah, we were talking to him just earlier as well, and I think he's got another drop, like a bad drop week as well, so yeah, he's got some potential to jump up there as well. There's been quite a few drivers that have missed quite a few races early on in the season that are coming out of the woodwork now, that have just sort of kept themselves quiet. Like Rafa was there as well. He's now got 8 weeks and showing us 1,700 points, so he's doing fantastic. Obviously Samuel we already knew about, he's banging in the consistent weeks as well, so yeah, I think it's going to be quite close come the end of this season. It looked quite safe for a lot of drivers early on, but yeah, I think it could be anyone's.
And drivers aren't drying up with the last of the weeks coming up. In fact, yes, and more pro drivers showing. Hasn't happened for a few seasons. Good points.
Yeah, I mean it's always a tricky one, isn't it? Because we're at the end of we're season 3 now, so the World Championship Series is finished. You've obviously got the bottom 25 guys are going to get pushed back down to pro. So if any of them haven't been running, I'm sure they're going to want to get themselves back up to speed, ready for that series. So yeah, wouldn't be surprised if the last 2 weeks, so Silverstone and Twin Ring Motegi, are going to be filled with a lot of black stripe guys getting in and amongst it. So points are going to be even harder to come by. So actually, you might be in a really strong position at this point, already securing well, I can't tell yet, but it's looking like a 200-point average at the moment. Well, congrats again, 5th place, good result, good points. We'll see you in Silverstone. Yep, and yeah, just want to give a quick shout out to the team and that.
Yep, just want to good guys, and I want to thank ARC team. Not aware we have a deal going on right now. If, Friction as your coupon code at the ARC team website. A 5% discount.
And there we go, table was just updated, and you're showing us 1,570 points right now, so just under the 200 point average, but yeah, I think that's going to be close to being enough already, I would think. So yeah, well done mate on good season so far. We'll see you next week at Silverstone.
Alright, see you next week.
Alright, thanks Mr. Caton for joining us and helping out in the comms box. Let me
no problem.
Try and focus a little bit more on what was going on in the cameras.
Yep, I'm looking forward to next week as well. Should be some fantastic racing. Had some good racing here today as well, so just more to look forward to in this Class A series.
Well, yeah, I think Silverstone has a bit of everything, and it's another track actually very similar to Suzuka in sort of the layout and the setup as well. I think it's going to be fairly similar, so wouldn't be surprised if the guys that are on pace this week are sort of there or thereabouts next week as well. Makes for some interesting racing. Tricky to overtake at Silverstone though. So
Absolutely, but I think all the championship swings are going to happen at Silverstone. You know, all the guys putting in their last-ditch effort. All of that's going to happen. I'm sure a lot of DWC guys will want to show up at Silverstone just to have some fun. So that should impact the SOF, as Kizuki found out today, getting a fantastic point score after all of us got knocked out of the race.
yeah, thanks Dean as well for jumping in as always and helping out in the comms box.
Yeah, it's not a problem.
And to everybody who tuned in and watched it as well. So we'll do it for you guys in the community. So don't forget to like it and whatnot on YouTube and share it as much as you can. But let's just also give a quick shout out to our sponsors as well: ApexRacingLeague.com, GTM Mega Racing, and our latest sponsor as well, LeoBodner.com. Just if some of you guys haven't checked it, we went and visited Leo Bodner a few weeks back now when we did a review on their sim steering system, as well as the prototype F1 rim that they're working on. Should be just about released at this point, and the new the SLI Pro as well wasn't the new F1 one. But yeah, we had to play with Oculus Rift and whatnot while we were down there. So as well, don't forget to subscribe to the channel because we are going to base performance simulators in a week on Monday, I believe it is actually as well. So we're going to test out the single-seater simulator as well as the Aston Martin GT simulator they got down there. So should be great fun. I think there's 5 of us going down there, so plenty of footage, laugh and giggles and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, it should make for an interesting little review. But thanks for tuning in, everybody. We will be back next week for Silverstone. But from me, Alex Simpson, and my co-commentators, Dean and Marcus, it's a goodbye.